Hey, you YouTube guys and girls. I posted my 225-gallon freshwater planted tank. Sunday. Today is Wednesday. Uh, anyway, I had a big 8 folks that saw it. So, but they gave me some comments. One person said that shut down the glare that you have behind you, and I tried to do that, but unfortunately, I could still see the glare of my window and the doors behind me. Another gentleman or female. I'm not sure, asked me, loved the tank, and said that wanted to know a little bit more about the aquarium. Another one said he wants to know a little bit more about the CO2 and the lighting system. So I'm just going to give you a brief. I don't want to bore you guys and girls, but so I'll just tell you a little bit. So this tank is up about 7 weeks now, and unfortunately it took me about 4 weeks, 5 weeks to find the balance of the lights, how many hours and how much CO2 to feed it, and keeping the pH where I wanted it. So it took me about 5 weeks just to balance it. So some growing of some algae, and and then cleaning the aquarium. But anyway, unfortunately, I was gone. I left Sunday to go. I went out of town Sunday and got back a little while ago, and I guess the power went out here on Monday due to rain, and because of that, one of them I just replaced it. But anyway, my CO2 did not come on. So it threw the balance off, and now, as you can see, I have some hair algae that grew while I was gone. So anyway, balanced it back out, or at least it's balancing as we speak, and hopefully that'll work out. But anyway, so the lighting, as far as the lighting, I have an aquatic light. It's an aquatic life 12 bulb system. It's got 3 different phases, or 3 different timers with that night lumina with the 12 bulbs. And but anyway, so I turn on the lights about 11 o'clock, and it turns off at 8 o'clock. So 9 hours, 9 hours a day. The bulbs that it consists of, I have 2 actinic, the blue ones, whatever you guys know, on here. And I know that some people say that it doesn't really affect the plants. It's really made for a reef or for saltwater aquariums, and I had a saltwater aquariums all my life. This is actually the first time that I get into freshwater and a planted tank. But I like the look of the blue bulb. So because it had 12 bulbs, 6 on each side, 636 on each side, I figured, okay, well, I could do with adding 2 to give it the color I want, and the other 4 I'll make sure it's just for the plants. So I have 2 Atlantic blue, and then I have 165K, 167K, 110K, and then that rosy red for the rosy red plant. So I got a little bit of spectrum of all of them, because I'm kind of new and I read so much on this. Everybody has their own thoughts of what they should have. So I wanted to kind of cover all the spectrum. So I got everything on there. As far as the filtration system, because this was a saltwater tank, as you can see, it has 2 overflows, and I've kind of covered the overflows because I'm trying to keep as much CO2 as I can inside. And as you can see, I got a wet-dry filter system, and also have that covered with some saran wrap to try to keep the CO2 from being keep it inside the tank. So as far as one of the folks that had sent me information said that they wanted to know how much CO2. So the KH, it goes by the drop or by the parts per million. 6 or 7 drops to make it change color, or 110 parts per million. There's actually a calculator. You go online and you actually put in the parts per million on the KH. You put in your pH. You put the volume of your aquarium, or how many gallons it has, and it actually tells you how much CO2 you have in the tank. So I have 110 parts per million on the KH, and my pH is I keep it between 6.7, 6.8, and then I put in the volume. So I'm a little over that 30%, or the 30 parts per million on CO2. But again, it's not really affecting the fish. The fish are doing good, and then so the only problem that I'm having, here's the other side of my filtration system. I also have, as you can see, I have a large CO2 tank over here, and with another filter. And then I'm also doing that. I don't have inside the aquarium. You don't see any of the the diffusers of the CO2, because I use this. I forget. Hell, I should write all this down for you guys. I apologize, but I use this tube that it breaks down the CO2, and actually that was the only way I was able to keep CO2. And then I also feed CO2 at nighttime, believe it or not, because my pH was very little CO2, just to kind of maintain my pH, and it doesn't take such a big jump when the lights and the CO2 goes off. I wanted to keep it somewhat of a balance on the pH, so I actually do feed it very little CO2 at nighttime. That's why I have so many. So anyway, that's kind of a quick explanation on the ones that sent me some comments. Another one asked me about these little trees, and I went online and I saw a gentleman on there that built these little trees. He took the screen from a gutter, cut them circle, and then with some zip ties, cut two pieces and put some of the moss in the middle, and then he did it on YouTube, and I kind of did that, but I also went a little bit further, and I got tweezers and I kind of pulled them out. This one over here is only about 2 weeks, and you can see it's growing pretty good. This one here is 4 weeks, so that one's already ready. I'll give it another week before I start trimming it and start shaping it like a tree. And then this one over here, this was my first go at it. I didn't use any kind of PVC or the plastic or anything like that. I just basically got some of the moss and with some of the aquarium glue and then fishing line. I just tied some on there, and that's going pretty nice. Here's another piece over here. So in that shark, forget the names. My son is the one that has all the names written down, and he keeps track of the fish, but he really wanted those, but those will grow too fast, as you guys and girls know, and start eating everybody else. Probably these rainbow, whatever they're called, as well. Again, I will be a little more prepared for you folks next time I do this recording. If you guys want me to record this, I could do a weekly, monthly, whatever you folks want as far as an update on the aquarium, just to see how it's growing in and see how it's doing. This is all new to me, and so any of your comments, any of your help, any of your suggestions, hey, listen, I'll take it, man. I really enjoy this hobby. I got into this Planet Tank thing, and so I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. I'm sorry, man, I went too long and I'm rambling. I apologize. Again, I should have been more prepared. But you guys have a great day, and talk to you guys soon. See you soon. Bye.